Welcome back to our channel Autistic Multiple Life. This channel was created to erase stigma around autism, dissociative identity disorders, speak about neurodiversity and stuff like this. Sorry that I don't make some video lately. What I want to say today, I want to speak about war in Ukraine. And it's really important to me to speak about war in Ukraine because I'm from Donetsk. Donetsk part of Ukraine. Now, this territory kind of Russia recognized Donetsk Republic like a dependent state, which is ridiculous. And what I want to say at first, Putin needs to be stopped. And second, I have family in Ukraine. My uncle now in Kiev, and now Kiev is bombing. It's very heavy bombing, and my uncle, his wife, my auntie, she is neurosurgeon. She made surgeon on brain, on head, and she's child neurosurgeon. So now it's really important job because many kids are wounded because of bombing, because of shooting. And my uncle, he's really afraid that Russia can bomb hospital and said that this was made by Ukrainian Nazi. He says that Russian forces did it. Russian forces sometimes now destroyed civilian objects, kill civilians, destroy stuff like school, hospital, stuff like this, and say on Russian TV, on Russian propaganda that Ukrainian forces did it. And many people in Russia, my uncle said that many people in Russia who now is fighting, they really fully, deeply believe that they are liberators. They don't understand that they're going to kill civilians. And they came and believed that they liberate Kiev from Nazis. At the same time, most of the soldiers who go into Ukraine to fight from Russian side, they don't know where they're going. They're thinking that they're just in training. They don't know that the Russians going to send them to war. Yes, it's true. Another truth, what I want to say, Putin is kind of really deep threat to all Europe, all world. He now tried to scare all civilizations with nuclear weapons, and I don't know if he could use it or not. Really, when Ayman was a teen, during Arab Spring, Ayman was writing this fictional book about revolution and war in Ukraine, and everyone was saying to Ayman that this is impossible, that war in Ukraine is impossible, revolution is impossible, and in this book it was the beginning of World War. And Ayman was thinking that of course it's possible, this war is possible, and it's happened like in Ayman's book. It's not just kind of some fantasy or mystical stuff. When I'm speaking, it's speaking just because Ayman was deeply interested in politics and don't like pro-Russian government in Ukraine, and she was thinking about this revolution and how it could end it. And now in this scenario, unfortunately this scenario, what else I want to say? The most important stuff that I want to say, it's not the first war that Putin is waged. Putin waged war against minorities in his own country, against LGBT people, disabled people, against all people who don't agree with him. He tried to erase any identity that people inside Russia have except of proper pro-Putin Russian guy. And it's not first ordinary war that he waged, that Russia waged. Russia completely destroyed secular, ordinary Republic of Ichkeria, now is Chechnya, territory occupied by Russia. Russia have two wars in this territory. Russia made West to believe during the Second War that they are fighting Islamic fundamentalism, Wahhabism. It was a lie. Wahhabi was minority in Chechnya, and most Chechens are Sufis, not Wahhabi actually. And even if there was Wahhabi, even if they wanted to make a Sharia republic, it's their territory. But Russia made this huge propaganda machine. It was really a propaganda machine that they're fighting Islamic fundamentalism and terrorism in Chechnya. Like now they made this big propaganda that they're fighting Nazi in Ukraine. It was lie in Chechnya. It's still lie now in Ukraine. What else? The Europe was silent when Russian forces destroyed the city of Grozny. Chechen capital. Europe was silent. Europe ignored it. Europe ignored the war in Georgia. Europe ignored when Putin supported Bashar Assad, this kind of dictator that used chemical weapons against his own people. Bashar Assad killed more people in Syria than Islamic State or any Al-Qaeda group, Fatah Nusra, or any small Katiba, any jihadi group. Assad killed more people together with Putin, and Europe ignored it. Europe ignored what Putin did in Central Asia when Putin put his own guys, his puppet government. Europe ignored when what Russia did in Georgia. Europe now started to speak only when Putin came to Ukraine. It's just like in the Mueller's, just preacher, German preacher Niemöller, Martin Niemöller said, when they first came, I don't remember completely this phrase fully, but it was like, meaning was like, when they first came for communism, I was silent. When they came to Jewish people, I was silent. When they came for Gypsy, I was silent, etc., etc., etc. And when they came for me, it's still no one to stay for me. And this is what's going on in Ukraine. When Europe and America and Canada and all the world was silent, when Grozny was bombing, they were silent. When it was war in Georgia, they were silent. When Putin put his puppet governments in Belarus and Central Asia, they were silent. During Syria, yes, they made some kind of sanction, but what does sanction mean to Russia? Really, what does sanction mean to Russia? When this sanction was against, like, I don't know against whom they was. Not against Putin friends, not against oligarchs who support Putin. So now Putin came to Ukraine, and Putin wouldn't stop on Ukraine. Putin now wanted to destroy Ukraine, and he would destroy Ukraine like he destroyed Chechnya. Second, he not stopping on Ukraine. It's just like Hitler wasn't going to stop on Poland or Austria. It's not what Putin wants. He wants like global domination. And if Europe didn't do anything now, if Europe was silent, continue to be silent now, when this war happened, he would came here, or at least restore, or at least he would in best scenario he would just kind of restore Soviet Union. Worst scenario, it would be global war with NATO. It would be third world war. If you don't want third world war, please support sanctions against Russia. Support sanctions against all oligarchs who support Putin. All Единая Россия's members, or Единая Россия is ruling party. Support the sanctions. It's all could help. I never was a patriotic on Ukraine, and before, but now even me, because I was, autistic, partly Jewish, LGBT, not very easy to be a person like this in post-Soviet Union country, in any country, including Ukraine. I was saying that I hate all post-Soviet Union country, but now at first I'm started to speak that yes, I'm Ukrainian and I'm completely against this war. I was against the war before, but now I started to speak kind of even proudly that I'm Ukrainian, because Ukraine fighting the force that I thinking that this force is kind of global evil. Please, if you don't want the third world war, if you don't want the new Hitler, if you don't want Putin to have global domination, help Ukraine now and do anything to isolate Putin from the world. Do anything to isolate his oligarchs, please. And welcome refugees who came here. Ukrainian refugees, some opposition from Russia, support them, and still safe. It's all that I want to say, just still safe. And don't keep silent now, because this silence is already cost too many lives of people. Bye.